Hello children, I welcome you all to this class of quadrilateral. We are already done with properties of parallelogram and rectangle in previous lectures. Let us today focus on properties of some more special quadrilaterals, that is rhombus and square. Initially we will discuss the properties of rhombus. Properties of a rhombus. We know that rhombus is a parallelogram whose adjacent sides are equal. That is, all sides are of equal length, so it has all the properties of a parallelogram. Let us recall the properties of parallelogram one by one. First property which parallelogram has, that is, opposite sides are equal in parallelogram. So in rhombus also opposite sides are equal. Number two property which parallelogram has, that is, opposite angles are equal. So in rhombus also opposite angles are equal. Number third property which parallelogram has, that is, diagonals bisect each other. So in rhombus also diagonals bisect each other. Number four property which parallelogram has, that each diagonal divides a parallelogram into two congruent triangles. So in rhombus also each diagonal divides a rhombus into two congruent triangles. In addition, rhombus has one more property than parallelogram, that is, the diagonals of a rhombus bisect each other at right angles. To prove this property, let us consider a rhombus ABCD with diagonals AC and BD. To prove this property, we can take any two adjacent triangles. Here I have taken triangle AOB and triangle BOC. Let us make them congruent by SS congruency rule. So let us focus on triangle AOB and triangle BOC in the figure. After focusing on these two triangles, we find that AO is equal to OC because diagonals bisect each other in rhombus. Number second, AB is equal to BC. AB is part of triangle AOB and BC is part of triangle BOC. These two sides of triangles are equal because these are the sides of a rhombus. Number third, OB is common. OB is equal to OB as OB is part of both the triangles. So by SS congruency rule, triangle AOB is congruent to triangle BOC. We know that when two triangles are congruent, then their corresponding sides and angles are also equal. So here each angle of triangle AOB is equal to corresponding angle of triangle BOC. Each corresponding side of triangle AOB is equal to each corresponding side of triangle BOC. But here, to prove this property, we need angle AOB is equal to angle BOC, CPCT. CPCT means that corresponding parts of congruent triangles are equal. This question is continue on next slide. In previous slide we have shown that angle AOB is equal to angle BOC. Now again focusing on the figure, we find that angle AOB and angle BOC forms linear pair angles. These two angles are adjacent as well as supplementary, that is their sum is equal to 180 degree. So angle AOB plus angle BOC is equal to 180 degree. Angle AOB plus angle AOB is equal to 180 degree. Here in this step I have replaced angle BOC by angle AOB, as angle AOB is equal to angle BOC. So 1 time angle AOB plus 1 time angle AOB will become 2 times angle AOB and equal to 180 degree. Here 2 is in multiplication with angle AOB. After transposing it, 2 will become the divisor of 180 degree. So after dividing 180 by 2, we will get angle AOB is equal to 90 degree. Since angle AOB is equal to angle BOC, so they both have the same value, that is 90 degree. So this proves that the diagonals of a rhombus bisect each other at right angles. Now we will discuss properties of a square. A square is a rhombus with each of its angles measuring 90 degree. Hence it has all the properties of a rhombus. In addition, it has one more property, that is the diagonals of a square are equal. To prove this property, let us consider a square ABCD with diagonals AC and BD. To prove this property, we have to take any two triangles which have common base. Here I have taken triangle ABD and triangle BAC. Let us make them congruent by SAS rule. Now after focusing on triangle ABD and triangle BAC in the figure, we will find that AD is equal to BC because these are the opposite sides of a square. AD is the side of a triangle ABD and BC is the side of a triangle BAC. Again focusing on the figure, we will find that angle DAB is equal to angle ABC, as both have same value, that is 90 degree. We know each angle of a square is 90 degree, so in triangle ABD angle A is 90 and in triangle ABC angle B is 90 degree. AB is common, so AB is part of triangle ABD and AB is part of triangle BAC. So AB is equal to AB and is common. So by SAS congruency rule, triangle ABD congruent to triangle BAC. As we know that when two triangles are congruent, then their corresponding sides and corresponding angles are also equal. Therefore AC is equal to BD CP CT. CP, CT means corresponding parts of congruent triangles are equal. Dear students, now we have to do exercise 9.2. In exercise 9.2, question number now you can do yourself by recalling the properties. Question number 2 of this exercise also you can do yourself by recalling the properties. Now we have to do question number 3. In this question we have given a trapezium LMNP in which LM is parallel NP and angle P is equal to 70 degree and angle N is equal to 100 degree. In this question we have to find angle PLM and angle NML. Since it is given that LM is parallel NP, if we will hide line segment NM, we will see that LM is parallel NP and a transversal PL cuts them. We know it very well when two parallel lines are intersected by a transversal, then co-interior angles or angles on the same side of a transversal are supplementary. That is, their sum is equal to 180 degree. Therefore, here angle P plus angle L is equal to 180 degree. Angle P's value is given 70 degree. So we will replace angle P by 70. So 70 plus angle L is equal to 180 degree. That implies angle L is equal to 180 minus 70. Here in this setup we have transposed 70 to right side. So it will become negative. So after subtraction, angle L's value will be 110 degree, or we give it name as angle PLM is equal to 110 degree. Again, when we will focus on this figure, same two lines are parallel, LM parallel to NP, but this time we will hide line segment PL. So now NM is transversal. Therefore, angle N and angle M are co-interior angles, or we can say angles on the same side of a transversal. So they are supplementary, that is their sum is equal to 180 degree. So angle N plus angle M is equal to 180 degree. Now angle N's value is given in the question 100 degree. So we will replace angle N's value by 100. That implies 100 plus angle M is equal to 180 degree. Now we will transpose 100 degree from left side to right side. It will become negative. That implies after subtraction 100 from 180 degree, we will get angle M's value is equal to 80 degree, or we can give it name as angle NML is equal to in question number 4, we have given ABCD a square and diagonals AC and BD bisect each other at O. In this question, we have to find angle CAD, that is half of angle A, and angle DBC, that is half of angle B. Since ABCD is a square, therefore each angle is equal to 90 degree. Also, we know each diagonal of a square bisects the angle through which it passes. In figure, if we will extend diagonal AC, then it passes through angle A and angle C and bisects it into two equal angles. Now angle A is equal to 90 degree as ABCD is a square. Therefore angle CAD is half of angle A. Angle CAD is equal to 1 half of into 90 as angle A's value is 90 degree. After cancellation, we will get angle CAD is equal to 45 degree. Similarly, angle B is equal to 90 degree and it is half of angle B. Therefore, angle DBC is equal to half of angle B, or angle DBC is equal to half into 90 as angle B's value is 90 degree. After cancellation, we will get angle DBC is equal to 90 degree. Dear students, in question number 5, we have given ABCD a trapezium in which AB parallel DC and AD is equal to BC. CE is drawn parallel to AD, meeting AB at E. In this question, we have to prove 3 parts. In first part, we have to prove figure AECD is a parallelogram. Now, focusing on the given figure, we find that AB parallel DC, that is given. So, AE is also parallel to DC as AE is part of AB. When AE parallel DC and CE parallel DA, that is given, therefore figure AECD is a parallelogram. In part B, we have to say AD is equal to EC. Yes, AD is equal to EC as AECD is a parallelogram and opposite sides of a parallelogram are equal. In part C, we have to say triangle CEB is an isosceles triangle. For any isosceles triangle, we have to make two sides equal. So, focusing on figure, we find AD is equal to BC. We will mark it as first, that is given. Number second, AD is equal to EC. We will mark it as equation second because these are opposite sides of a parallelogram AECD. From first and second, AD is equal to BC, that is equal to EC, or simply we can say BC is equal to EC. Now in triangle CEB, BC is equal to EC, so it is an isosceles triangle. Dear children, in question number 6, we have given the size of the obtuse angle of a rhombus is twice the size of its acute angle. And in this question, we have to find it is acute angle. So let its acute angle be x degree, then according to question its obtuse angle will be 2x. As we know, rhombus is a type of parallelogram, therefore x plus 2x is equal to 180 degree. As we know, sum of two adjacent angles of a parallelogram is equal to 180 degree. So x plus 2x will be 3x is equal to 180 degree. That implies x is equal to 180 divided by 3. That implies x is equal to 60 degree. Hence its acute angle is equal to 60 degree. With this we conclude today's lecture. I hope you all have understood the above discussed elements of rhombus, square and exercise 9.2 up to question number 6. This is what we have in today's lecture, and I hope you will practice the same at home to understand it in the better way. Thank you very much. Stay home, stay safe.